Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Jeremy or JLR Games, and today it's gonna be a weird topic. It's not really gonna be too much of anything that I feel like someone's gonna search for. I really doubt it because I feel like this is something that might be like just thrown into someone's like suggestions at one point, and they're gonna be like, "What? Why is someone talking about this?" But or be excited. You never know. But as I made a post on my Facebook page, which if you don't know my Facebook page, it's the Jeremy Lee Radio Show. It should be in the description below and maybe on screen. But I made a post saying something about it was some kind of like 90s snack thing. It's like the one post I do not, or like tab I don't have open. Hold on. Like like it's the one tab I don't have open. But it's here it is. Okay. So it said you can pick only one to bring back, and it had a bunch of stuff from like the early 90s or like 90s to what early 2000s, I guess, snacks that are discontinued. And um really, the only thing I thought that was on there, this is why this sparked this whole thing, which a lot of people are sending messages to, not even my page. I don't even know why it's getting here. Take a breath because I am out of breath. I walked up steps and I'm 21. You'd expect me to have a little more energy, but I don't. But yeah, this is gonna be a weird video. The but I made this post on my Facebook page just because I wanted to, and really, like, a lot of people jumped on the like 3D Doritos and Pepsi Blue. That was a lot of the comments on it, and a couple different people commented saying that these two things that were actually mostly suggested to come back are actually coming back in 2021, which at most of these things I thought of was like I thought I'd be like too young for because I'm 21. I was born in 99, born in 99, and I was thinking maybe I'd be too young for these. Maybe I just not had half of these, which I chose high C Ecto Coolers, which I was not old enough. Or, crap, I wouldn't even have thought at the time they got even released or discontinued. But to be honest with you, I liked high C. It was a good thing. I liked it all throughout school, so I don't really think like the Ecto Coolers would be bad. So that's why I picked it. I want to try it. But also, when you looked up the Ecto Coolers, there's actually people selling them on eBay, like a whole box, a pack of 10 for $18. Now, who thinks to keep that? Who thinks to get a psychopath? That's who thinks to keep that. I don't know who sits there and goes, "Ah, oh, these high C's from 1989 when the Ghostbusters was a thing. Yeah, this is gonna be a good thing to keep." No, like you don't think that. But either way, some people have said they've seen it in stores. I don't know. They might have released for the Ghostbusters movie that came out recently. And by recently I mean like a couple years ago. But either way, um, it's just weird that there's a lot of people selling them for some of them are $20, 30, 40, 40. Why would you pay $40 for two packs? What's two packs? At the same point, if it's not expired or at least really flat, like I know it's juice, especially if it's juice. I don't think it's a citrus drink would be worth after like what 20 years, over 20 years. I don't know why I look at my watch. My watch is not going to tell me that the Ghostbusters thing released and discontinued in 97. It's just weird that people keep that. I don't know why they keep that, or at least try to sell it, because it's a citrus drink. You'd expect it to be really out of date, like really like possibly even deadly. Like I don't know why that's a thing. Like I'm just gonna rant a little bit for a second. But at the same time, pay $40 for maybe death? I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Let me move on. Let me try and move on away from this. Um, but yeah, there's a thing with 3D Doritos, and whenever you type in 3D, when it was 3D, because I wanted to make sure I was like maybe old enough or so forth, like able to remember any of these. And whenever you type in when was 3D, it pops up with printing made and printing created, like 3D printing created, 3D television invented. When was 3D made, created, founded, invented? So, actually technologically advanced things. And I'm like, no, stop all that. 3D Doritos is what I'm looking for. But it was like mid 90s is what it says. It was from like, let me see, debuted in 98, ended in 2003, which makes me 3 at that time. They got discontinued. Still don't know why. Couldn't fully tell you. I didn't look that far into it, but turns out they're making a comeback. A lot of people were talking about the jalapeno cheddar, which really, if you don't know what a 3D Dorito is, it's a fancy bugle. That's all it is. It's just fancy bugles. But a lot of people wanted them to come back. Turns out they are. 2021, they're supposed to be coming back. The classic Fritos Lay's treat from the 90s, that turned Doritos into a puffy snack. It's supposed to come back in 2021. Yeah. And all the flavors are supposed to be launched too, I think. Could be wrong, but they might also have new flavors. I don't know. But what's bad is I might have had these, but also at the same time, they're a snack that I wouldn't have thought to be like, oh, this is my favorite snack that I'll have for the rest of my life. It's chips. Like at the age that they discontinued, I was 3, which makes this what? Like I shouldn't have been old enough to do that, but I was drinking like pop because I did drink like Pepsi because South. Uh, but and it wasn't even like actual Pepsi. Like let me get this straight. It wasn't even like actual Pepsi. Like it was Diet Pepsi, which I ended up drinking for like 15 years. Like I don't like, and the reason I stopped it was because it messed up my sugar. It ended up like dropping it more than it needed to. So yeah, which I was also put as pre-diabetic for absolutely no reason. I really doubt it was a big thing, but now I drink regular sugary drinks, which this is Dr. Pepper. I really stopped drinking Pepsi. But I also am drinking in a glass because I have a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper that I need to finish before it goes flat, which I'm almost done, by the way. But the but here's a little side note with this. I went to the doctor. This is whenever they were talking about pre-diabetic. I went to the doctor and I had the flu at that time. Which, if you don't know one of the symptoms about the flu, it messes with your joints to where you feel like it hurts to get up and down, or it's even hard to get up and down. Which they had my blood work done and so forth, and I was ready to go, and I was ready to hear back, see what they found. And it's been 2 weeks, and I've progressively got so bad that I could not get up and down. And they were like, I don't. They never called back, and it was mostly because they didn't know. They never said it was a flu. They never said anything. But I get into the room, like I go back because that was my biggest problem. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and I cannot get up and down now. So I'd like you to tell me what's wrong. And we called like a week after we went, and they were like, yeah, we got the blood work on there, and we put it on the doctor's desk. So, she should be getting it any time now. And as another week passes and we go back down there, this is the 2-week span that I talk about, and the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, I just got these results." I said, "That's a lie." The person just said that like a week ago that they put it on your desk. But she was like, she's looking through it and just talking about certain things. Like instead of telling me what's wrong, like that I had the flu, she was like, "Oh yeah, and your A1C is a little bad," which both my parents are diabetics. So whenever I hear A1C, I know what it is. I know what it's for. So whenever I look at that, I go, it's like I can't get up and down. And this woman's telling me that my sugar has a problem. Like there's something wrong with my sugar. It's like I just looked at the doctor and was like, "Okay, I won't eat chocolate cake for a little while. Tell me why I can't stand up." Like like I don't understand what was going on. But anyway, we're gonna move on because I could talk about that all day. But at the same time, I just turned the camera on to talk. So how's it going? But 3D Doritos are coming back in 2021. There's no specific date, but that was something that someone told me in the comments on that post. And it turns out there's a website or web pages and stuff that was actually telling me about it. Let's move on to the second item. Pepsi Blue. Everyone wanted that to come back, and turns out it is in 2021. But there's no actual web page telling you that it's coming back. It was only on Reddit, where all they said was Pepsi Blue is coming back in summer of 2021. and it just has a picture of Pepsi Blue. So yeah, most of all they've seen is like there's a patent for it, like they re-patent the Pepsi Blue so no one can steal it. And I guess they're going to be making more next year, summer of next year, or releasing more in the summer of next year. So yeah, that's happening. And also when you look up Pepsi Blue on Bing, because I'm using Bing, which I'm also using Microsoft Edge, which usually I go to Google anyway. On like I search through Bing to go to Google, like that's usually what happens. But there's a website or web page that I randomly found that says a new Mountain Dew drink might be permanent and gingerbread holiday soda. Like no, that's not what I needed today. Like a cold cinnamon drink. No, that's not. Like gingerbread would be good in like a hot drink, like tea, like some kind of coffee or a hot chocolate type thing. Like gingerbread is not a cold drink that you should consume. Gingerbread cookies are usually like uh are warmed. You cook them, you bake them, and then you eat them hot. Like you don't just freeze them. That's also a thing. Why? Couldn't tell you. Don't feel like that's a good idea to have, but yeah, that's a thing that happened. To summarize this video, Pepsi Blue is coming back, and 3D Doritos are coming back. So yeah, that's how the shit's working, and I don't understand like Pepsi Blue. If you want to give it like to give a little bit of a heads up, like a little bit of a backstory with Pepsi Blue, because Pepsi Blue was made in the mid 2000s, which the mid 2002 is what it was. It wasn't mid 2000s. It was mid 2002, and it was pretty much discontinued 2 years later in 2004. And the whole thing, and it still remains in the Philippines and Indonesia, but the fact of it was it was a flavor as a result of a taste testing over 100 different flavors in a 9-month period. And the whole thing was it was designed to attract teenagers, teenage consumers with the bright blue color and unique flavor. It's a fruity Pepsi is all it is. It's blue. And for some reason they were like, "Oh, blue will attract teenagers." Like, no, that's not how that works. We don't just see everything blue and go, "Ooh," like kind of I do. I won't deny that, but I'm also not a teenager. I'm just a child. But at the same time, I was like, they have a thing called Crystal Pepsi. I was like, all it is fancy water. Like, that's not. There's nothing to that. But I was also made in like early '90s. So they realized that Crystal Pepsi was not a good idea because it's clear, and they needed to add bright colors to attract children. Like, so yeah, that's a thing. This video actually lasted longer than I thought it did, or I should have at least. But yeah, I rambled, I ranted, and I hope you enjoyed. Uh, that's all I got. This is a wild video, but I just hope someone gets the hint that these things are coming back, and you're excited for it. That's most of what I hope for. I look over here because that's where I am to see my camera and everything. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you want to see me on other platforms, Facebook page and and everything should be down in the description below, and I think Twitter, I think I have that too. I might put Twitch because I'm really thinking about switching to focusing on YouTube, so I might do live streams on YouTube again. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm gonna throw some of the links to these articles that I had and or the Reddit sites that I found this stuff on, and anything I talked about in this video in the description below. Also, I also think I fixed the weird like laggy like screen. If I didn't, you'll still see it, but I had to update my editing software, and that was my problem. I kept trying to figure it out. I was like, is it the capture card? Is it the camera? Like I couldn't figure it out because every time I'd record and look at the OBS, it would seem smooth. And on my video that I recorded, it seemed smooth. So it wasn't really my capture card, it was my editing software. So I updated it. So yeah, everything should be fixed now, and I hope that's how that works. But anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to your day. It shouldn't have been 16 minutes long. It'll probably be edited down a little bit. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one. Bye!